I'd just like to spend a minute, talk a little bit about bonds. It's a pretty boring topic, actually. And there's a lot of things to understand about the nuances of investing in bonds. Few people really like to talk about bonds because they're just not a lot of action with bonds. But yet bond portfolios are an integral part, or should be an integral part, of most everyone's portfolio, especially as people are getting older, nearing retirement, or are in retirement. So the question becomes, what's an appropriate bond allocation? And it's a little bit different for everybody, but typically what we see is anywhere from 30 to 50%. And then the question is, how do you invest in bonds? Well, I'd like to suggest that for most people who have larger portfolios, it's a great time to look at individual bonds. Because the advantage of individual bonds over bond funds are that individual bonds have a maturity date associated with them. So right now, you buy the bond, you clip your coupon of 4 to 5% typically. And at maturity, assuming you're buying high quality individual bonds, you're going to get your money back. So the benefit of individual bonds are that maturity, whereas bond funds really don't have a maturity. So if the bond market takes a hit, which it does every now and then the value of that bond goes down and nothing changes. It's not as if that bond's eventually going to mature and you get your money back. No, you actually suffer a loss in bonds. Now, that's diminished over time and that sort of thing. And for smaller investors, that's kind of what we need to do, is just use bond funds. But for those people with a little more means, this couldn't be a better time to invest in individual bonds. Because right now, you're able to lock in those 4 to 5% yields. Who knows how much longer that's going to last. And buy that individual bond so you have that maturity assurance. So that's a little bit of perspective on the bond market. And bonds, sure, during times of market volatility, we learn how important they are to an overall portfolio allocation.